Hi there. Thank you for joining me for this edition of the Tonka Report. My name is Randy Gilbert, and today my guests are the Mayor of Minnetrista, Cheryl Fischer, and the Mayor of Victoria, Mary Hershberger Thun. Ladies, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Randy, for having us.
It's been a while since we've had both of you on the show, so I'm happy to have you both back here. And there's been a lot going on in both of your cities and in the region and everything else. But Mayor, I wanted to speak with you because it seems like every time I pick up the local newspaper, I read that you are working with your local communities and local cities around you on a lot of different collaborative efforts. And I wonder if you want to expound on that and explain what's been going on in Minnetrista.
I would love to do that, Randy. We've always collaborated with our neighbors, but it's the push, as last year was collaboration, cooperation, innovation in local government, and that's what we've really been focused on. We have a collaborative effort with Mayor Thun and the City of Victoria. We share a building inspector, which we think that is very good for both our expenses and keeping a job as well. But the big thing that has taken most of our time is the cities of Minnetrista, Mound, and St. Bonnie. We all contract together for public safety services. And we decided that we should talk about, is there another way to more efficiently and more effectively deliver these services to our residents at a lower cost? So we asked a consultant to bring together the facts so we didn't have to question each other's facts, and we also engaged a facilitator to help us work through the process. The goal was to provide the same or better services at a lesser cost with no degradation of service. So we started last March. In August, we had the preliminary report. In October, the three councils met in a joint session with the public and talked about the options that the consultant had laid out. The consultant did not give us a preferred option, he just laid out the options, and the three councils decided to continue with our work groups and work on those options until we could find something that worked for the three cities. And so this is ongoing. It's getting closer to an end, I believe, but the work groups are still going, so you need to stay tuned until probably March, April timeframe.
I'm going to interrupt you. So
yes.
You're looking for a March, April timeframe to have a deliverable. Here's what we've decided. This is how the contract's going to look. Is it a contract conversation?
It can be any of the above, and we're exploring kind of a couple of different things, all the way through to merger of departments.
Okay.
But so the options go, do we share personnel and equipment? Do we contract, or do we actually merge departments?
Okay.
So all those are on the table. The work groups are working on it. They consist of the mayor and a council member for each fire and police. And so I don't know that March, April will necessarily have the final, but we should be getting toward a resolution of what works best for the three.
And is there one community? I mean, is Minnetrista driving the process more than any of the other two, or is it truly collaboration? Everybody's a third in, even though expenses are not a third.
Truly collaborative. I believe Minnetrista drove it in the beginning because we contract with both Mountain and St. Bonnie for fire service for our entire city. So we're the customer. We wanted to explore how that went. Police services are always under scrutiny, so we thought, well, here's a great time to look at that as well, and Mound was very favorable to do that. St. Bonnie contracts with us, so they're a part of it too. So I would say we are equal partners, and we're trying to work through we've been very fortunate to have Dessel Peterson from Minnetonka, you probably know Dessel, be our facilitator and help us work through our issues.
But Dessel's a wonderful facilitator. We
She's
used
great.
her when Long Lake and Orono were doing some things.
Oh, that's right.
Very even-keeled on
yes.
things, so she's a wonderful resource for us.
It has been great.
Mayor, I'm going to, you mentioned that you in collaboration, or Cheryl did, collaboration on a building. Which building is this?
For Public Works.
Okay.
And, I'm sorry, for building inspecting.
Okay.
And we,
right.
they were looking for, or putting out bids last year for building inspecting services. And so Victoria put in a bid, and we won.
Yes.
And it's been working out very, very well. And so what we do, we have a collaborative effort where Minnetrista staff will call us when they need inspection services. We make sure one of the two of our people go over there. We're very timely. We've not had any kind of complaints, and I think it's just a great collaboration together, I believe.
It was a great win-win. Mary and I were both behind it, pushing it and hoping that it would work out that way, and it definitely did. It was a great idea.
It's a way that cities can really leverage their services and also their staff. And, I mean, right now, the building economy is down a little bit, and whenever that happens, then the need for building inspection services goes down. And so to be able to leverage our staff, long-term staff, to work with another community that is really relatively close to Victoria has really, I think it's been good for both sides.
Sure, and it keeps the employee happy because it's a different view than just Victoria, nothing against your fine
Absolutely,
city,
they
but it's
learn
Victoria
a lot.
and Minnetrista and different codes. I'm sure the codification is similar, but there are some nuances for each city, I'm certain of it.
And we were very happy with the company that we were doing business with. We just, in these economic times, we decided to take a look at that and go out for bids, and so.
Well, good.
And two other things that we're doing in Victoria, although they're not as organized as Cheryl and Minnetrista, there are a couple of the cities in Carver County are interested in purchasing some sweepers, those great, big, huge machines that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. So we are looking at purchasing some sweepers together with the county included. And we've not decided if that's the route we're going to go, but that will be one way where, number one, we won't have to store 2 sweepers, and we'll be able to have a schedule of sweeping our roads. And most recently, one part of Victoria is practically in Chanhassen, but not really. And so I just read a report from one of our staff people where Chanhassen is going to be doing some of the plowing this winter, although today's probably the first day it will need it, and which is really, really saves on our services and our money, even though we're paying Chanhassen, because the trucks don't have to travel so fast. And also our residents who are located like on the doorstep will get faster service. So we're really pleased about that collaboration with Chanhassen too.
You know, it's amazing, and I'm happy, so happy that the cities are doing this, because we have to. You know, it's a pretty easy equation. If the revenue's not there, you have to mind your expenses. But I always love these conversations because it just seems like it's how it was growing up, that your neighbor helps you, and that's what we're doing here. Except
That's
you do have to watch who's paying it, because, you know, Chanhassen can't plow all of Victoria's streets for nothing. It does have a cost to it. But it makes me feel good, and especially out here. I don't know that this exists all across Minnesota. I do read that there are other areas, but because of the closeness of so many communities here, the ability to collaborate and be more neighborly, and it just helped things get done friendlier.
What I think is interesting, Randy, is that everybody says this is the new thing, you know, but you know, when you and I are growing, well, at least when I was growing up, that's what we did as neighbors anyway. And so to me, it's back to great things, great neighborhoods, great communication with our residents. So.
It's okay to ask for something.
Yes,
I think
it is.
people, society has a hard time with that.
I'm sorry, it's not just with cities. We have an excellent relationship with the schools at Eastern Carver County, District 112, for the recreation center, where they actually built a sheet of ice on our land and tied it to our recreation center, and the Chanhassen Storm, that is their home court. And so, I mean, things like that, it was a huge undertaking for both the city and the school, and we continue to have a great relationship with the school system.
And what I love the most about all of that is there was, if you look back into the 80s and in the 90s and even into early 2000, there was redundancy of effort in buildings and things that we just did not need to do. And you understand a little bit, everyone wants to be independent, everyone wants, you know, the 3 taxing bodies want to show that they're doing something for the people, but these efforts show that they really are trying to do something for the taxpayers by saying we all have the same goals, and sometimes we just need to put them into the same basket, each contribute a little bit, give you the product that you're looking for, and save you money along the way, and I love that.
Yep, and it's really come a long way in many, many areas. We're also doing I want to keep bragging about our collaboration, but we are also doing a Highland Road project this year. St. Bonnie owns half the road. We own half the road for, I don't know, 10 years. We've been trying to get it improved. And it's finally been okayed, and the specs are out. We hope to get a good bidding climate this time around. We didn't in the fall, so that's why we put it off till this year. That's amazing to me. Yes, so it's going to be great.
Total redo, water, sewer?
Whatever is needed in there. Water and sewer isn't available to us out there because we're not in the MUSA out there. But we will be doing the stormwater improvements that need to be done and all that goes with that road project. So.
Is it a paved road now? I don't know the road.
You could call it a paved road.
Okay.
Most people say their axle's broken, but
Okay, so we're trying to make it so it's a little bit more user-friendly.
it will have to go way down and take it out, but yeah.
Okay.
So we're pretty
Well,
excited
great.
about that.
Hey, I want to take a break right now, and when we come back after for the second half, I thought we'd start talking, Mayor, with you about the Highway 5 construction project that's going to be happening in Victoria. And we've got a few other things about trails and stuff that I think we should be covering.
Sounds great.
So stay tuned, we'll be right back.
We interrupt this program to bring you this important message.
The Lake Minnetonka Communications Commission, located in Spring Park, Minnesota, offers free television production classes. You heard it right. Free, free, free. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will help bring your idea to the big screen.
Why, thank you. We are very friendly and knowledgeable.
From studio lighting and nonlinear editing to on-location shooting, we'll guide you down the path you need to succeed. Hurry in, folks. An opportunity this good won't last forever.
Well, welcome back. Just before the break, we talked about the fact that we were going to start talking about the Highway 5 road construction. And Mayor, I think you are probably the expert at this table to talk to us about what's in store for the residents along Highway 5 this spring.
Well, this is a project that many of us have been working on for a long time. Of course, we'd love to see Highway 5 be 4-lane, but that's not going to happen in the very near future. But what we're going to be doing this summer, and when I say we, I'm really talking about MnDOT and a whole collaboration of people. We are going to be closing Highway 5 for parts of the summer, and in parts of the summer it will be totally closed. But Victoria is open for business. MnDOT will come out at the...
Do you want to say that again?
And Victoria is open for business. In fact, later we're going to talk about festivals and stuff, but we have a number of things coming up this summer, so Victoria is open. Beginning in May, MnDOT will start to come out and bring some barriers and things. However, they won't be doing any real work at that point in time. Beginning May 30th, they will start shutting down from about 78th Street in Victoria all the way through Victoria to the Dairy Queen, we call it the bridge. The bridge is going to be replaced along with a sinkhole just west of 78th Street. And there will be what they call a surcharge, which is a lot of soil. During that month or 2 months, the soil will just be sitting there. There will be no work being done. So I expect phone calls where people will be calling me and saying, there's no work done. How come the road is being closed? And that's because the soil does need to settle.
Right.
On about July 6th, we will start shutting down Highway 5 from the Minnetrista Parkway all the way to the west. And during that time, there will be an underpass constructed into the Arboretum and to connect many of our trails and many of the turn lanes, and also some pipes and culverts will be put in during that time. During that time, the prescribed route will be north on Highway 41, west on Highway 7, down to Rolling Acres Road, and then into Steger Lake Parkway, which we have repaved last summer. So it will be a complete accessible to all the people that come through Victoria.
I think an important thing for us to interject here, and you don't need to say this, but for the viewers watching, there's going to be a lot of transition that occurs during this year. And how long does the project go on?
The project's going to go 3 months. It is an incentive, well, 3 to 4. It is an incentive-based contract. This is one of the few times that MnDOT has agreed, and primarily because Victoria really pushed for this, is that when a contractor comes in and says we can get the project done at a certain amount of time, if they get it done in an earlier period of time, that's worth about $10,000 a day. It also goes the other way. If they extend, it will be a disincentive for them. And so we are really going to be working hard. We also have a marketing committee, and we have all kinds of signs that are going to be up, and all of the mayors around Victoria and their city administrators and managers have offered space on their website, space in their city for signs, because this is a major, major road. And of course, the growth is all down Highway 5 too. So there are going to be people that are going to be looking for ways to get through. So we will have it very well marked.
Perfect. And the viewers have already seen this. As you've been chatting, the websites have been up for your city and probably
Right.
for MnDOT. But it's
Right.
probably easiest to tell people, if you're confused, go to
Go to the
Victoria's
website.
website, and there's a link set up to
Yes,
get to MnDOT.
yes, you can, in fact, on the Victoria website, you can go on there and it has a picture of Highway 5, the sign, and you can just tab on there and it will take you to the website, which is www.victoriadetour.org.
Okay.
And right now, I just went into it the other day, it's pretty sparse. But as we pick up activity, as things start happening out there, that will be the place to go to see how you get through and get to Victoria. And by the way, I'm inviting all my friends, including both of you, to come to Victoria during that time, because none of us want any city or any business to fail. And we really, really
Right.
want to keep people coming into Victoria and enjoying our city.
Well, it seems, and I want to commend you, it seems like you've engaged the business community.
Yes.
I will tell you, as a mayor who's went through construction for a number of years, a past mayor, be prepared for the businesses to not be completely ready for what's coming, because there will be a huge abruption, and consumers being what they are and travelers being what they are, while they love Victoria, and Victoria is a beautiful town, at 7:30 in the morning, they're not caring how beautiful Victoria
That's
is.
right.
They need to be to their
They need to
workplace,
get
and they
somewhere.
will find a different path for those time beings, and it'll
Right.
take a while for those paths to readjust after it opens. Some will jump right back on, but some will realize. But I'm glad to hear that you've worked so long with your business communities, and I think MnDOT
Yes.
as well.
We also are having some symposiums, I call them, for our business people about what they can do to promote their business, different things to do. Just recently, we talked to a brand new company called Point Stack, and we are going to have you can earn points if you come to Victoria and eat and do business there. And that will translate back on your credit card as dollars.
Oh.
And so that program is just going to be introduced in the next month or two. And so we're hoping that also will attract people to come and use Victoria's services.
Perfect. Well, you've done some homework.
We have. we
And
have.
with construction, and you talked about the trails, that rolls to Minnetrista. Minnetrista always has construction going on, it seems, because you do have many things going on. But you had mentioned that you have a trail system that you're looking to.
We're engaging in a long-term regional trail plan. We're studying it right now, and I would be remiss if I did not mention that the big development on Highway 7 Woodland Cove, which will include a roundabout on 7 and a realignment of County Road 11 from Carver into Kings Point Road, will be the beginning of it whenever it starts. It's had a little bit slowed down, but that development itself will bring the Lake Minnetonka Regional Park into Carver under Highway 7 into their park reserve, and from there we'll take the trails north heading for Dakota Rail and the Loose Line eventually. But in order to do that, we really need to start planning for that regional plan. It will take many years and phases to get that development in there. It's 1,100 homes that are scheduled to go in there and a bit of commercial. So we decided we'd start early. It's a 10, 20, 30-year plan. We don't really know. It's been out to the public a few times at public meetings. The Park Commission has taken a look at the very preliminary estimates or whatever, and the council also. And we've kind of settled on a couple of options that we've asked our staff and consultant to please, zone in on these two, and then come back to us and say what you think it looks like. How can we get there? The public had an interest, a very big interest, in how we would go about acquiring property to get through there, because obviously we don't own it all or have access to all of it. And the overriding concern is that we work with willing sellers and not do eminent domain, which has always been the practice of the city in my time, and I've been there quite a long time.
Working or eminent? The practice has been working with the
practice has been working with the residents.
I just wanted to make certain that you were
In my
clear, 'cause
time, I have been mayor, this is the 14th year, and I was on the council before that. We have never used eminent domain,
Okay.
and the thought is that we will not. Although I don't know if we can give away that statutory authority just like that, but that is our intent, that is our goal, that is our policy.
So when you put these trail systems, and the plans do take a while, is this a project just that Minnetrista purchases the land, or has it become a Hennepin County and a Three Rivers Park?
We are working with Three Rivers Park District and Minnehaha Creek Watershed District in conjunction with any of those entities. Three Rivers will be building the trail that goes from Lake Minnetonka underneath 7 as a part of the Woodland Cove development to Carver Reserve. I never know if it's preserve or reserve, so either way. And then after that, it will be Minnetrista's impetus to go out and kind of work with the owners and so on like that. But I believe the building will be a cooperative effort, mostly with Three Rivers Park District, to get to their other trail.
Okay. But
No,
this, no, please go ahead, Mayor.
Let me just throw one thing in. One thing I failed to mention, but Cheryl reminds me, is one of the things that we are doing during the Highway 5 construction, working with the University of Minnesota and the Arboretum, is that we are grading the path that will go along Bavaria Road, so eventually it can be paved, which will connect Victoria and Chaska to the Arboretum and have much better access to some of the other trails. And eventually we're going to get down to where Cheryl is. And so I think what Cheryl said, where you get all of these different organizations like the Watershed District, the University of Minnesota, and everybody involved, the county, we get a lot, it goes a lot better when we're working together like that.
The one thing that does always cause me angst as a mayor is that there's so many organizations. It's unfortunate to do a trail system that you have the watershed, and I'm saying there's some good things that happen with these, but there are some things where I think they impede progress for the cities when you have to go to the watershed, Three Rivers Park, the DNR, it just creates a lot of, and they're not all looking at things the same way as well. They all have their own interests. I hope the project can come together, but it's good that you're starting early on a plan.
Right, and the groundwork was laid years ago with our park and open space plan and trails plan with the University of Minnesota. They helped us identify all our greenway corridors and all of that, so that groundwork has already been laid. So now we kind of know where we want to go, but it will take a lot of time. Sure. It won't happen in 5 years or even.
Well, and then money. We don't know where things are going to be in 5, 6, 8 years.
Money.
And it's a tough thing to do, and maybe get easements instead of purchasing it, and have those
always
collaborative efforts on even a more of a micro level would be really nice.
That's exactly what we look at.
So, I like to always, as we get towards the end of the show, wrap up with giving you guys each, we've been talking about your respective communities, but to really highlight some items that are going to be happening in the next, coming months. Keep in mind the day of the show that some of the things that you talk about will be old news at the end of the show. But Mayor, why don't you start off with Victoria and some of the events and different things that you want to tout about your town? Sure.
Well, let me start off with an event that's coming up very soon, February 4th, I believe, no, 5th, that's Sunday. And that is the Volunteer Firemen's or Firefighters Open Fishing Contest. It's a huge celebration on Steger Lake, and even if the ice is not there, we're still going to have that contest. And they are out there raising a lot of money. So great activity. We have hundreds and hundreds, close to thousands of people in Victoria on the lake during that time. Also on May 12th, we're having a Victoria Expo. This is a time when all the businesses advertise their services in Victoria, and it will be held at the Field House. And that's just preliminary. Coming in the summer, the following things are happening. We have concerts in the park. One of them will be done during the Volksfest, which is happening on August 18th and 19th. And I'm sorry, 17th and 18th. And we will have at least, and this is, I didn't know how big Classic Cars is. But I'll tell you, we started, thanks to the VBOA, the Victoria Business Association, last summer, we started having classic car kind of get-togethers every week, and I thought, well, there'll be about 3 or 4 cars. Oh, there's 40, 50, 60 cars. So we're going to have about 8 of those this summer, and all during the time when Highway 5 is under construction, and it's really great. We'll get more people into our downtown area. One last thing, this new year, people are always concerned about, did I eat too much over the holidays or whatever. Victoria has gone a little different ways this year, and we're concentrating on our senior population. And so we have a fitness instructor at our recreation center who specifically is teaching functional mobility to people 50 and over. And her name happens to be Linda Mathias. I have used her as a personal trainer. She's just excellent. So any of you out there who would like to take a class with Linda, come to the Victoria Recreation Center. She'll be teaching.
In all these events, there's a link on your website.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Mayor Fischer? Is there anything going on in Minnetrista for fun?
For fun. We always have fun in Minnetrista. It's always 85 and sunny, as you know. So we have a few things coming up, not probably until May. The second Saturday in May, which I don't have my calendar, is always Recycle Cleanup Day at our facility. We do it jointly with Mound, and anyone's welcome to use it. The following Saturday, which is always the third Saturday in May, we have our Trista Day event, which is a big deal. We have hundreds and hundreds of people, well, depending on the weather. This is a bit weather dependent, but we've had such great success with it, and it's a great positive thing for Minnetrista. We also have several things going on at Gale Woods, and then I would like to just mention our neighbor mound and the great Spirit of the Lakes Festival that comes in July. Okay. I know you'll hear a lot more about that other places, but those are the things that I would key in on. So that would be it for events for us in the very near future anyway.
Well, and you know, I do want to give you one, you went through that so fast.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. You always tout the fact that you have a bond rating that you like to be proud of. Do you want to? Well,
I'm very proud this year of both our staff and our council. We did very well with our budget. We cut it 5%. We have a great bond rating, which is a AA+. We're very proud of that. And we're very proud of the staff and the attitude that we all took, and I'm sure this happened in Victoria as well. This is the new way of doing business. We changed a few things, we tweaked a few things, we reorganized a department, we reassessed our purchases and this sort of thing, and we've come in with a 5.1% decrease in our levy without using any reserves this year, and we kept our tax rate the same. And so we're very proud of that. I want to say a great thank you to my financial staff because they worked really, really hard.
Perfect.
And I can just say ditto. We also have, thank you, Cheryl. You know what, we have a AA+ bond rating too, and the council last year worked very close with our city administrator and our finance people to get a budget that is less than what we had the year before. It's going to continue to be very difficult. We work very, very closely, and we are going to start earlier this year, even earlier, although I think I spend the whole year working on the budget sometimes. So I agree. You know, the council and the mayor, we always get all the credit because we're the ones that, you know, pass it and everything. But the staff really has to put all of the figures together. And in fact, Victoria Council will have a strategic planning meeting, I think it's February 4th. And begin talking about what we want to accomplish this year, particularly in the finance section and in construction.
It's never too early to start planning, and we do have to wrap up.
Okay, I just have to add that Minnetrista has already had their retreat. It was last week, 2 days to do the same kind of things. Yep. And you know we have a better, or at least as good a bond rating as several foreign countries that we hear about day after day.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's all about planning.
Yes,
so,
it is.
Mayors, thank you both for being on the show.
Thank you.
I look forward to having you back on sometime in the near future.
Sure.
Love to.
Thank you, Randy.
Oh, you bet. And thank you for joining us for this edition of the Tonka Report. Remember, join us the next time and learn more about your local cities.
Previously on America's favorite daytime drama, Lake Minnetonka. Brick has a secret.
Bunny,
Yes, Brick?
I have a secret.
What is it?
We interrupt this program to bring you this important message.
The Lake Minnetonka Communications Commission, located in Spring Park, Minnesota, offers free television production classes. You heard it right. Free, free, free. All you need to do is sign up and show up to receive your special TV training. That's right, folks. That's it.
Wow, that sure looks easy.
Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will help bring your idea to the big screen. Well, that is if you have a big screen.
Why, thank you. We are very friendly and knowledgeable.
You'll learn the secrets of how a television studio works.
If you can't see video, try taking off the lens cap.
Wow! Thanks, LMCC.
From studio lighting and nonlinear editing to on-location shooting, we'll guide you down the path you need to succeed. Just call us at 952-471-7125 or go to our website at www.lmcc-tv.org to get started today. Hurry in, folks. An opportunity this good won't last forever.
We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming.
So, you're not mad?
Of course not, you big lug. I just wish that you would have told me about LMCC's production classes. Maybe next time we can take classes.
Together?